Today I'm going to be doing some painting. I'm going to be using a paint which has ceramic beads inside of it, and it helps to insulate, to keep heat from transferring through the wall. And as a side benefit, I get to patch or paint over these little patches on my wall, which you'll probably see in some of my YouTubes behind me. It's like a little bit off color there, and it's really annoying, and I prepped that a long time ago, covering some holes. Now I'm finally going to be able to paint over that. I can show you how to prep something as well if you have like a hole in the wall. So some things that are good for painting and prepping walls would be, you have spackling, and what this is it can fill in holes in your wall, and it's a tool that's really good to use. What this is, I'm not really sure what you call this. This is one brand of spackle. This is the tool that I'm talking about. It's good for getting paint cans open and for applying things like this spackle. This spackle I like because you buy it and it's actually pink, which pink is cute, but the cool thing is it dries white. So when you after you apply it, it has to dry, and you know that it's all the way dry when it's turned white. So here's what the pink spackle looks like. This color is a little bit faded. This is pretty old, and I had to actually put some water in it, stir it around to get it to the right consistency. And this wall, I'm not going to be worried about like perfection because my couch is usually in front of it, but just to demonstrate, if there's like a dimple in the wall, you want to even it out. Just put some on your brush and scrape it like that. You don't even have to be like perfect about it, because you can go back later and sand it after it's dry. A good tool for that is one of these, and it has hinges so you can open it up and rotate and replace the sandpaper. Now this wall does have a little bit of cracking in the existing paint right here, so I'm going to sand that out a little bit with this.
New York spinach. I done did a bid, did a New York sentence. New York kiss, yo. Rappers stopped selling. Kim did a year and a day for not telling. Fox went deaf in one ear too. Shortly after that, she did a year too. I beat the case, not enough evidence. Get ready to see a black president. What? I guess everybody got a New York minute, huh?
And obviously it's up to you the level of prep work that you want to do on the wall. They make bigger scrapers, or whatever you might want to call this, in order to get bigger areas if necessary. And you can build and then let something dry and then build on it. But when it comes to things like corners, they make corner pieces that you would have underneath first. Like if the one there gets dented, like if it's metal, it can get dented, so you can replace that. They also make them in plastic. And another thing you may want to do to prep your wall, if you have anything that's like more of a challenge than just sanding it, you can use this, which is kind of like almost like a cheese grater, but it's you know, stronger. It's sharper. So I think this is called a shim, something like that. And another thing you can use to prep is masking tape or painting tape. which you would use if you were going to be doing maybe like around the light switch there. I could use this. You can also take the whole plate off, the light switch off, or you can paint it if you want to. I may paint that one like a silver color at some point, but it really is worth going to detail to tape things if your color is going to change, like you have a different trim or you're coming to the end of a wall. For me, I'm sticking with white to make it easy, and the insulating paint that I have, you can actually paint over it other colors if you want, or if you want to make it like a gloss. I bought the kind where it's already mixed in with paint that they send, but you can also buy powder and add it to another paint that you want, or like I said, you can use it first and then paint over it with any other paint that you want. Also, if you have like a really big hole in the wall and patching it is not an option, what you can do is find where the stud is. Okay, shh. Wait, Sophie, hush. Sophie, you're making too much noise, stop. What you can do is find where the stud is. Like with you can use an electronic stud finder, or and you cut using like a small handsaw. Cut around the hole until you find the stud on either side, and then you can cut a bigger piece of drywall that's about the size of the hole that you created, and screw that into the stud, and then use your spackle to fix any other missing holes around your drywall patch, and then sand and paint. Other things you'll want to have on hand are at least one, maybe a couple wet sponges to clean up any paint spills, either like on you or where you might not want it to go, like if I don't do a good job prepping my light switch cover and I do paint it, I can clean it off with a sponge. Now, paints used to all be oil-based, and some of them still are for certain uses, but most latex paints will come off with water if you're lucky. That being said, I would never recommend not putting a drop cloth down, especially if you have carpet, even if it's old like mine. I do like the blue color, but it is going to be time for me to do something else with this floor at some point. I get kind of burned out because I own the building, and the majority of my time and energy and money goes into the other units that I rent out because that's business and I have to. Sometimes I run out of steam when it comes to my place, but I do get stuff done eventually by the bar. So, and then you also want to have some paint brushes. I have a couple of styles here. This one, and then this one, which is more like a sponge brush, which these do they are disposable after a while. They kind of break, but they can be easier for edges. And then no matter what kind of paint you're using, you definitely want to stir it really, really well before using it. The best thing of all is to take it to a paint store and have them be able to mix it up. And with this, I ordered kind of a lot of it, so when I was ready to use it the first time, I brought it in, had them mix it up, divide it into 2 containers so that it's easier for me to manage them and stir them up. But I'll be mixing that. I already started on it and mixing it more ways than just stirring it, especially this paint. I mean, all paint you would want to mix very thoroughly, especially this paint with the ceramic beads. I want to mix it really thoroughly, so you can sit there and shake the thing up, you can roll it, You can stir it, mix it up however you want, but do mix it well. Now, unless you're only painting a very small area, you're going to be wanting a paint tray and a rolling brush. So these come in different textures. I want something that's made for like a grippier, a more textured paint, rather than just a real thin paint. And definitely want it clean, because anything on there is going to end up on your wall, which it'll be the paint color, so it's not the end of the world. But and then this roller. And then when you buy these, it's better to get them like this one has at the end, where you can actually screw like a mop or a